The government, through the National Irrigation Board, has set aside 980 million shillings post-COVID-19 to construct additional dams and water pans across the country. I had a talk with the Deputy CEO of NIB, and this is what he had to say about this project.
Dams are mainly put on river courses. So in terms of the amount of water that can be harnessed, looking at a whole catchment, can harness a lot of water. And for two purposes. One, now that we're having climate change, we have longer drier periods that are longer, and we have very wetter periods that are longer. So it means that we have very high peak floods and very dry periods. The dams do a very simple function of stabilizing or buffering. So you have that water available when it is dry, and then that water is kept aside, is harvested when we have the excess floods. So they serve a very big purpose as far as the element of climate resilience is concerned.
Concerning dams that have been surrounded with controversies, causing delays in completion, this is what he had to say.
Kanakoralu is at 85% completion, and with the award disagreements between the National Irrigation Authority and the contractor, the Israeli contractor who was there, because they defaulted on the contract, and we are looking at ways of amicably doing away or terminating our engagement with our contractor. Then we, using our own resources or further engagement with the National Treasury, we see how we can complete that project. But as it is right now, it is under production. The area that was established is under production. So in terms of malpractices, there are really no malpractices. The project is working. And I think it's one of those projects we say is one of the successful projects in terms of achieving high yield of production and automating and modernizing irrigation. River Dam is currently at about 30% completion. It's a very interesting project. The contractor is doing a very good job. Currently, of course, there are a few delays that may be caused by this COVID issue, but the contractor has been very, very innovative to see that they are even able to apply double shift, and we are confident that they are going to complete that project in time. It is fully funded. The land acquisition, there is no problem as far as land acquisition is concerned, and the progress is good. There were just small delays, and they were sorted out. Yeah. The River Dam will be commissioned before 2022.
And on the Ahero irrigation scheme in Kisumu County that has been destroyed by raging floods in the area, the Deputy CEO says it will undergo a facelift as the government targets to increase rice production at the scheme.
Ahero irrigation scheme, marvelous project. Only that it is affected a lot by floods, which is an occasional thing. But it is one of our most successful projects because we adopted a different model of farming, where farmers it's called self-policing, and they're able to raise resources that are able to sustain production. Every year we're able to put 3,000 acres under crop, and on a good year, we are able to intensify that to 150%. So about 4,500 acres, if you look at the cumulative area that has been cropped.
Irrigation is part of the government's agenda to put 1.2 million acres under irrigation in its long-term agriculture transformation strategy.
Where we stand as a country in terms of irrigation development vis-a-vis the target, we have close to 510,000 acres under irrigation, both private, community and public irrigation schemes. And then out of a target of 1.913 million acres. This year, we plan is to complete close to 21,000 acres under irrigation, and these are for projects that are spread across the country. And this will continue to create employment, to continue to contribute a lot to food security and also supply raw materials for agro industries.
Benson Rioba reporting for Channel 1 Business.